The GOP is now targeting Representative Ilhan Omar in response to House Democrats attempting to strip conspiracy theorist Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of her committee assignments. Now, there will be a floor vote in the House on a resolution to strip her of these committee assignments. She's on the Education Committee and the Budget Committee. Little worrying. However, in response to that, the strike back, if you want to call it that, is to try to hold Ilhan Omar accountable for something that she said years ago that she's already apologized for. It's absolutely pathetic. So here are the details. The House is set to consider a measure this week that calls for Taylor Greene, a controversial first-term lawmaker known for her support of QAnon conspiracy theories, from her assignment on the Education and Labor Committee. A proposed GOP-backed amendment to that measure for Omar to be removed from her committee assignments in light of conduct she has exhibited. So what is the conduct that they're referring to? Well, they're referring to Ilhan Omar a few years ago, talking about US foreign policy toward Israel and how it's influenced by lobbyists and lobbying groups like AIPAC. And when she tweeted about that, she used an incredibly unfortunate phrase, "It's all about the Benjamins." Now she's talking about lobbying, but in this context, that is a trope, an anti-Semitic trope. And whether I don't believe that she intentionally used an anti-Semitic trope. I think that she should have been a little more careful with her wording, but she apologized. That's the point. Now, in this Republican amendment, they argue that Omar has made anti-Semitic comments that are grounds for dismissal. But again, here is a tweet featuring her acknowledgement of wrong use of phrase, wrong use of words. She said listening and learning, but standing strong. And she shared an explanation of why that trope is unacceptable, right? Representative Omar later apologized and thanked colleagues for educating her on the painful history of anti-Semitic tropes. That's according to Fox News, by the way. So I say all this because there's this false equivalency happening right now where, and I'm seeing it in headlines too, John, mainstream media headlines, where they argue or they frame the situation as if Marjorie Taylor Greene just happens to be the right-wing version of AOC or Ilhan Omar. And it's infuriating because it's not even close. It is not the same thing. And I know you have a lot to say about this.
Yeah. There are two, I think, pretty understandable reasons why they do that. So one is that they are similar in that they're new. That's it. Like, and AOC and Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and others were new a couple of years ago. So there's that. And a lot of the people in the media making this comparison were probably as annoyed with the policy-based things that Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and Ayanna Pressley and AOC were doing with the first few years, as they are with this thing that Marjorie Greene is doing. Marjorie Greene doesn't have a platform, doesn't know about this stuff. It has nothing to do with actual crises that she's trying to solve or anything. So substantively, there's no comparison. As you pointed out, Ilhan Omar was censured for that tweet and apologized for it. We can't even get her to apologize for saying that Nancy Pelosi should be shot in the head, or at least agreeing with that statement. And it's the contingency of caring about anti-Semitism is so disgusting. They know that their ranks are full of people that opportunistically support Israeli foreign policy goals, and that's about it. That's the end of their interest with all of that. Marjorie Greene, she retweeted a video laying out a theory for why Europe was going to be destroyed because Jewish people were bringing in lots of Muslims to kill Europe. And all the space laser stuff, and Jews are behind everything, and George Soros controls every Democratic politician. That's what she said. That
no, it's incredible.
Maybe
it's
playing
incredible.
Into an anti-Semitic trope. Maybe it's touching on an anti-Semitic trope there.
No, I mean, it's impressive that in one statement, she can be both anti-Semitic and Islamophobic, like in the same sentence. And you're right. I mean, again, the difference here is you have, Ilhan Omar, who has good intentions. Like in what she was tweeting about there, she wanted to make a statement about how Palestinians are treated. Again, unfortunate that she unwittingly used a trope and then again got censured for it, apologized for it. Marjorie Taylor Greene, on the other hand, We have video of her doing and saying Islamophobic, racist, terrible things. In fact, since we're talking about Ilhan Omar, why don't we go back to that video of Marjorie Taylor Greene before she was elected in office, planning to harass Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar because they were gonna swear in using a Quran rather than the Bible, because guess what? They're Muslim. So using a Bible kind of wouldn't make any sense, right? But this is what Marjorie Taylor Greene's take was. This is her in the halls of Congress.
They swore in on the Quran. Oh, we have the Bible. We're going to talk about swearing in on the oath, how to swear in on the Bible with them, and let them know what our law says, that you can't swear in on the Quran. So we're going to explain to that. You know, we're going to explain about how you can't swear in on the Quran, and we're going to have the Bible and ask them if they would swear in on the Bible. That we really need them. We have the oath. Yeah, we have the oath. Yep.
I mean, aside from being a hateful person, she's also incredibly ignorant. Just
no, she's just
ignorant of our own constitution.
Dim. That's it. I mean, yeah, factually dim, but also not curious. She's a religious bigot. That's what she is. And some religious bigots have now found a second God to go along with God, and that is Q. And either God's gonna explain everything or Q's gonna explain everything. And when Q gets a date wrong, well, Q works in mysterious ways. It's just, that's all it is. She's just an old school kind of dim-witted bigot who believes everything she reads on the internet that confirms her views of different social groups. That's it. That's all that she is. And that's all it took for Republican leadership in the Congress to be like, oh my God, we can't possibly say anything bad about her. What will happen to us years down the line? And I get it. I think it's pragmatic. It is taking over their party. That is very, very sad. Honestly, in the short term, it'd be bad for them. But one of the best things in the long term that maybe could happen is Trump starting his Patriot Party and that just becoming the Q party. Because if that doesn't happen, they're just gonna be the Republicans. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is not gonna be the craziest congressperson in 2 years. There are gonna be people running and winning in Republican primaries in deep red districts that believe stuff that's gonna make her look sane.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.